Hey everybody, what's going on? It's All You Know 1994. I hope you're all having a great day today. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing what I feel is wrong with early access in video games nowadays. And before we really jump into that, I wanted to reference a comment that was on one of my previous videos talking about early access. So, with that being said, here's the screenshot and I'm going to go over it. This is from Bastion. It says, I think a big part is that this game, in regards to Dragon Wilds here, seems to have no real identity yet. It feels like a complete ripoff from Valheim and Enshrouded. Also, I think a lot of gamers are tired of survival games coming out unfinished in an early access state. I'm so sick of those practices, and it pisses me off that Valheim isn't even finished after 4 years, even though he loves the game. The only real good and finished survival game since 2020 at this point is Grounded. He wishes that devs would stop this early access bullshit, which I totally agree. And I mean, I like that comment because it really ties into what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I know I didn't read it word for word and I didn't finish it, but it is what it is. But basically, like, what he's saying really does make a good point. And I want to preface a lot of what I'm about to say here because I had a lot of people coming at my neck in my video where I was talking about the player count for Dragon Wilds. I had a lot of people coming at my neck saying things like, the game's in early access, the game's not finished yet, just give it time, it's in alpha or beta or whatever stage it's in right now. Like, insinuating that I don't understand where this game is sitting currently. Like, I understand it's not a finished game. I understand it's in a certain pre-full release phase. I don't know if it's alpha or if it's beta. I don't know. I get that. I'm not ignorant to that state or to that fact. I was simply pointing out in that video that this game doesn't have a lot of content at the surface right now. And for a lot of players that have enjoyed this game, and I'm one of those players, I want to also say at the beginning here that I love this game. I play it a lot off camera, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm doing a solo run by myself, and I'm having a great time playing it. I don't think this game is a bad game. What I was saying in that video was the lack of content in this game is why I personally feel like the player count on Steam is so low. It wasn't me trying to make a personal attack at Jagex, Epic Games, or RuneScape Dragon Wilds as a whole, saying that because this game has no content, it's a bad game, and that's why it's bleeding players. That's not at all what I was trying to say. I was simply pointing out that this game needs more content in it, and the players will probably come back. I'm almost certain that will happen, and I hope that happens because this game is a fun game. It's my first time ever playing a survival game, and I was very skeptical going into it, and I was very pessimistic going into it because I'd never played survival games before. I didn't know what to expect. But even with the lack of content in this game, it's still an enjoyable game. I just feel like it needs more. And yes, again, to come back to this point, I understand it's in early access, and I understand it's unfinished, but that ties into what I'm about to really talk about in this video. Early access, to me, and especially in regards to what Bastion said in his comment, is not healthy for a game. There's no reason why we couldn't have waited till the summer to release this game, so that would have given them more time to give us more content when they decided to release the game. I feel like it was a knee-jerk reaction to release the game when they did, because let's face it, like I said in my last video, the game there's not a lot here. And like people have referenced in the comments in my Steam charts video for this game, it's an unfinished product, and that's my point. Early access, it's a double-edged sword at best, because yes, we get a game that we can play that probably isn't finished yet, but we get to experience it in an early state. But at the same time, the game is also suffering for it, because then there becomes this issue where, like in this game specifically, once people finish the main gist of the content that's available, there's simply just nothing to do. And I mean, you may disagree with me, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But that ultimately is going to hurt this game in the long run, because by the time this game fully releases, we don't know where this game's going to be. You know, they have a huge roadmap for the early access build of this game, which is good. But as of this recording, we haven't seen any of that. And there's been no real time frame on when we're going to get that. In the last video I posted, they talked about they were going to be releasing a video in regards to Magic and showing us how it's going to work, but there was no information in that patch note that stated when that was coming to the game. And they didn't even mention ranged. So the problem that this game is facing right now is the lack of content. And again, I know it's early access before anybody down in the comments tries to go at me for that again. I understand it's an early access. But this game is suffering, I feel, because it is in such an unfinished state. If they would have waited, like I said, into maybe like June, late June, maybe early July to release this game, you know, the summer months, we could have maybe had level 99 as the max level that you can obtain instead of level 50. I understand that you can still get XP past level 50, which I didn't know as well. Thank you for the person in the comments on that other video for stating that. I appreciate it. But the fact of the matter is they could have, at best, waited till the summer so we could at least have that to where we could grind the skills, all of them, including Magic and Range, to 99. Early access to me just doesn't feel like at this stage in video games is a healthy choice in the long run, because another game that I'll use as a perfect example of this, I don't know if any of you know this, but you know, there's an MMO out there called Brighter Shores, and for the people that do know, you'll understand what I'm about to say. That game released in early access. It peaked at like 20,000 players, I think, like 15,000 to 20,000 players. And right now, it's barely able to hold 300 players at one time. And it's because the game released in early access in an unfinished state. And it's now trying to catch up to try to maintain a player base by releasing content now, at this stage in the game, when they could have waited X amount of time to just release the game in a more fully finished state. Do I think early access is just something they should get rid of? No. But I do think that in a certain way, early access hurts the game and it needs to be treated differently. I think that they need to make sure that there is a good chunk of content for the players to really dive into that is going to hold them over for months straight. And in Dragon Wild's case, it just doesn't seem like that's the case. It just seems like there's not a lot of main story content right now. And in terms of grindable skills, once you hit level 50, that's about it. There's no more further progression outside of the XP that you can gain past level 50. So ultimately, overall, what I'm trying to say is, guys, I love RuneScape Dragon Wilds. It's a very good game despite the amount of content it has. And I just personally think early access is done more harm for this game than it's done good. But, you know, in a few months, I could be eating my own words, but I just want people to understand I like RuneScape Dragon Wilds. I want this game to succeed. I'm going to continue playing it and grinding the content that is currently available. I just think that there's still some work that needs to be done. But if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below. If you dislike the video, go ahead and leave me a dislike. It doesn't hurt my feelings. And this is All You Know 1994. Peace out.